Hey guys, how's it going? Puttering around out in the shop today. I just got this in the mail. I got these on eBay. Got all three cables and heads. All it was like $28, I think. I did not think that was too bad at all. My cables are good on my stuff right now, but I wanted some extra heads because these just come out like that, kind of like the Fordhams do, I think. So I got hang these up over by the porting bench in a little bit, but I'm actually wearing a couple of mine are almost pretty much wore out. I've worn the chucks out from changing tooling so much because I bounce around to a lot of different bits when I'm porting. And with everything that I'm porting now that I'm trying to get caught up on, I thought maybe leaving each bit and each one of these tools would cut down on me having to change tools because I could just quick snap them in and go. So hopefully that's gonna work out good for me. And then it never hurts to, because if you do happen to get wadded up or get too aggressive with your cable, you can break your cable. I've got one that's beefed up pretty good. I can't remember exactly what I did to it. I remember I had to let this tip come loose and you couldn't crunch it down no more. I guess I'll just pull one of these out and show you what I had to do to fix one of my cables before. Tip had come loose in here, and then I'd crimped it a few different times and it kept coming loose, and I got mad. I degreased everything, and then I silver soldered that part on, and then after I did that, it wasn't too long, then this piece pulled the same thing, only on my other ones this piece was aluminum, so I could only crimp it a few times and then it gave it the go. So then I built a steel one, and this one looks like I think this one's, yeah, they must have realized they had a problem going on there and they upgraded it, so they made a steel one here. So if this ever comes loose, I can just silver solder that on too. So that's nice. But my other ones this was aluminum on this end, but yeah, that's what's inside them cables. It's, sometimes you can get wadded up or just get too aggressive with it. I really wouldn't mind it if these cables had an extra 1.5 feet or so on them, but I can make do with what I got. But as you're probably noticing, the bench is all loaded up with stuff. Went over and seen a couple buddies yesterday. One was up visiting our other buddy there, and then I stopped over and hung out for a few hours and did some horse trading and do some work on a saw. And then I got all this cool stuff for projects on the gonna be upcoming on the channel here. I got a 660. It's a new aftermarket cylinder. I believe he said it was a Mako, so we'll probably dive back into my 660 sometime or another and do more bad stuff and see if I can come up with a better running combo. He gave me a 026 jug. It's got a busted bridge, but the bore still looks, I don't know, we might not do, we might do some experiment with that just to see what happens. Maybe cutting the bridges out and do a bunch of exotic fingers or something. There's a I didn't notice that at first. At the very worst, this just sits around and we use it for cutting and adjusting and seeing what way I can push one. But he gave me this aftermarket 026 cylinder that don't look too terribly bad. So we'll probably use this on one of the builds. Gave me an aftermarket 385 top end. think that's what that is, 385, I think that's what he said it was. Scored another 036 jug, because I will be pulling that 6-finger ported one that made 7 horse off that 36, and I will be converting that 36. I'm still going to port it, but I'm going to convert it to like just a good solid, fairly warm work saw build, without all them exotic fingers and stuff in it. I'm going to gear it more towards torque. So I don't think I'll be competing with it. I'll probably just compete with my 620. I don't know. Might not even compete in that class, but I just know if I'm going to keep it around, I got to do something. I mean, it's a strong runner the way it is. It's not horrible by any means, but it's just a little more high strung than what I like in a work saw. So tone her back some, try to boost the torque, and I'll probably be happier with it. So, but I wanted to keep that saw all OEM, and this is going to do it. Looks like she's ate a piston at one time or another, but I can't really feel anything with my fingers. I think everything's gonna. There's one tiny one right there that might hone out. But yeah, I think we're gonna be taking another shot at that 036. He gave me this. I believe it's 48 millimeter. I believe this. I think it's an aftermarket cylinder. I've never seen OEM numbers. It says FK948 with some weird Chinese looking symbol on it here, and then it says CU36A on this side. It's got really tiny uppers. Really tiny intake. I'd have to dig out the 630 box and look at that 630 cylinder and see what the differences is. But I don't know. Maybe if this is 630 cylinder, maybe we will be going to a 630 on that. I don't know. We'll see. What do we got here? Got a Blue Max. This was donated to the channel by Eric Nickel. He's the founder of Sawfest. He donated this to the channel. I think he said it runs. I don't want the thing. I just told him he could donate it, and what we're gonna do is I worked on one of these a long time ago. I'm pretty sure there's a cat in the muffler on this, so I'll have to split the muffler in half and try to get that cat out of there and fix her up right. And I think we'll do some mild port work to this, and this is gonna be donated off to somebody on the channel. That's what I'm thinking. We'll give it away to somebody. Not sure how we'll do that yet. I gotta talk it over with Eric. Looks like I'm gonna have to find a bar nut, a chain, which I don't even know what this thing's set up for. Probably 325, I would bet, or 3/8 LP. But I do not know what this is a clone of. I've seen saws that look like this before in other colors. I know it's a clone of some sort. Hopefully it won't be too bad to take apart. And we'll clean it up. We're gonna do some port work to it. I don't know how exotic that we'll get on the port work, but we'll see if we can. Can't believe all the dust that's in there. See what we can do with it. It is a full mag case. So, I mean, I guess that's a bonus. Doesn't have a whole lot of compression. I don't even know what cc's it is. Maybe you guys know. 45 cc's. Says 45 cc's right there. Well, it's got the funky carburetor with the I think it's a round circle with a splinter in it for the adjustments. Maybe I can cut some slots in it. Whoever gets it won't have to have a specialty tool to adjust on it. But yeah, so we'll build this on the channel. We'll find somebody that needs a saw and give it to them. And yeah, so I'm gonna work on. I got 3 saws I gotta box up and get ready for. I gotta clean them up, drain them with fluids, get them bagged and boxed up, get them ready to ship out. Hopefully I can get them out in the mail tomorrow or Friday. Got a lot going on. On my 670, I took that out to play with it the other day, and it's acting up again. It did it to me at Joe's Dyno. We got about 3 good pulls on it, and then it went pig rich. I've rebuilt the carburetor. Didn't see nothing out of the ordinary on it. Set the metering lever, all that. Retuned it, thought it was all good to go. I did a few test cuts, and then I took it out and we played with it yesterday. Got about, I don't know, maybe 5 cuts on it, and it went pig rich again. I'm gonna have to do some more investigating. I might swap carbs off from my other 670 onto that one, and if the problem jumps ship to the other saw, then we know it's carburetor related. If not, maybe I messed something up and I'm overlooking something. But it's got new fuel filter, fuel lines, everything's new on the thing. New seals, new bearings. That's that one I split the case on. I doubt it's an air leak because it's weird. I mean, it goes like you pulled the choke, pig rich. Maybe there's still something floating around every now and then that gets hung up in the needle and seat, and it just all of a sudden goes pig rich and then tear it apart, or it moves, or I don't know. I find it weird. Typically I don't run into them kind of problems, but you know, nobody's perfect. There's something going on with it. If I swap carbs and problems jump to the other saw runs fine. I beat the crap out of it and had no problem. So if I swap carbs and the problem ship to the other saw, then we know it's carburetor for sure. I did put one of them Oregon fiber filters in that. Maybe the fibery stuff's coming off the filter and getting into the carburetor. That's a possibility. I typically don't run them, but I had a few that I got in on a deal that were still in packages floating around, and thought, why buy one if I had one? So maybe that's what's doing it. Typically I run the other style. Not a huge fan of them. It's like wadded up cotton pressed into a die cast thing with the nipple on it. Maybe I need to switch out from that. So I don't know. We will see. But I've blabbed on here enough. Already 13 minutes. Can't believe that. But I will take you guys along for the Blue Max adventure, and then we'll find somebody to donate that off. So, alright, you guys take it easy, have a good one, and enjoy.